Hey, good morning, everyone. So we're only 2 weeks away from our official launch of Awakened by the Bell and our study of the book of Romans. And in case you can't tell, I'm chomping at the bit a little bit, which is why I am out here this morning, because I can't wait to get this devotion started. With that being said, this morning I want to take just a look at the letter to the church at Rome overall. And this letter to the church at Rome was written by the Apostle Paul. Is one of the most important letters we're going to read in our entire New Testament. It plays a very important role in the configuration of early Christianity and continues to influence discussions on the faith today. In Romans, Paul touches on several key theological terms, and some of these include faith, grace, sin, justice, and the role of the law in the Christian's life. The main theme in Romans is the concept of justification by faith. Paul argues that people cannot win the way to God through good works or by following the law. He's arguing here that we cannot do it by just following the law. Instead, it is through faith in Jesus Christ that individuals do well with God. It offered a way for everyone, regardless of their history, the history with their people, the history or the state. They could have a relationship with God. And this opened the door for non-Jews to join the faith. You and I, Gentiles, to join the faith. Another important topic we have to look at is grace. Paul speaks of God's grace as a gift that's given freely, not something that can be won or something that we deserve. This idea first encouraged first Christians to understand that their relationship with God was based on love rather than being based on the law. It meant that even those who had lived sinful lives could find forgiveness and even a new beginning. And the social implications of this are extremely significant. As more people felt accepted, the first century church, the primitive church, grew and became a community that reflected the diversity of its members. Sin and justice are also fundamental to Paul's argument. He explains that all people have sinned and have not lived up to the glory of God. This means that no one is better than another when it comes to morality. Everyone needs forgiveness, and every one of us needs redemption. You know, when we recognize this shared human condition, it's very vital that we have to recognize this, and it's vital for our lives as Christians to recognize this human condition of sin. Because this will encourage us to humility and compassion, reminding us that we all fight and need support from one another and to one another. The call to live with righteousness is a challenge, but assures him that through faith, believers can find strength to do the right thing. In addition, the role of the law is an essential issue to the Romans. Paul does not rule out the law, but he interprets its function. He shows that he was destined to point to sin, but that true salvation comes through faith in Christ. The law was destined to point us to sin, but true salvation comes only through faith in Christ. As I close this morning, I just wanted to do a little brief overview of the book of Romans. The letter to the Romans has greatly influenced primitive Christianity and discussions on modern faith. There's not many discussions you'll have on the faith that you will pull out a verse from the book of Romans. His issues of faith, grace, sin, justice, and the role of the law invites believers to explore their relationship with God and among them. As we reflect on Romans this week, we can see that there are powerful messages still resonate with us today. They challenge us to create communities of faith that are cozy and compassionate, but willing to work. As we get ready to go through this book of Romans, by embracing Paul's teachings, we can continue to build a faith that speaks of the needs of the people and the needs of a culture that is in constant change. Keep in mind, I think I pointed out this the last time we talked about, I did the intro for this. First year law students used to have to read the book of Romans because they wanted, first year law professors wanted their students to see how to properly defend. And they used the gospel, not the gospel, the epistle of Romans, the book, the letter to the Romans, to show how Paul defended the faith, and that's how they should defend their clients. So don't miss one episode. It starts in 2 weeks on September the 2nd. We're going to kick this off, and we're going to begin with Romans chapter 1, verse 1, and just roll right through. Do not miss a single episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and get every single dose of this word that we can. I love you guys, and look forward to seeing you next week.